Alas, your sentiments betray the narrowness of your view. The fate of Eorzea and its inhabitants is of little concern next to the fate of the world. Tis my solemn charge as Emperor to bring the Icons to heel. If this requires the extermination of certain elements, then so be it.
Hello and welcome, adventurers. I'm Mary, and in this video, I'll be discussing how Garlemald has fared under the rule of Varis Galvus, and what we may see from our avant-garde foe in the upcoming expansion Endwalker. This video is part 2 of a 2-part series on Garlemald, and does cover the story up to patch 5.55, so if spoilers don't resonate with you, feel free to come back once you've expanded your knowledge. Varis Galvus was a formidable opponent even before becoming emperor. Before the 7th Umbral Calamity, he planted a mole when the Grand Companies were reinstated. This mole was Flame Marshal Eline Huayu, second in command of the Immortal Flames, and also known as the Ivy. It is believed that she aided Gaius van Belsar in setting up the 14th Legion's Eorzean strongholds following the Calamity. Varis names his son, Zenos Galvus, as Viceroy of Ala Mhigo following Gaius's defeat. Zenos in turn names his spy, Yatsuyugoe Brutus, as Doma's acting Viceroy. Zenos learns of the Echo from Gaius's reports, and recruits a scientist named Alice Mal Asina. Zenos was intrigued by Alice's theories that there may be a way for Garleans to wield magic. Regula van Hydrus, a childhood friend of Varis and legatus of the 6th Legion, helps Varis claim the throne during the War of Succession, tasked with finding a means to aid the Garlean war on Icons. Regula ambushes the Warrior of Light and their companions after they break the barrier to Azus Law. Yazael, taking the form of Shiva, sacrifices herself to save the Warrior of Light. The Gratian, Regula's dreadnought, is forced to remain docked at Azus Law with frozen engines. Regula meets the Warrior of Light again in the Aetherochemical Research Facility, claiming to be looking for the Genesis expression, one of the most powerful pieces of Allegan technology. He allies with the Scions to defeat the Warring Triad, deciding that the Allegan technology to bind primals is flawed and not worth bringing back to his emperor. Regula dies protecting Unukalhai, and the 6th Legion bore his body back to Garlemald. A rogue faction of the Ala Mhigo resistance attacks Belsar's wall while disguised as Eorzean soldiers, hoping to force tensions between Eorzea and Garlemald to come to a head. The ruse is successful, and the Alliance ultimately captures the wall, and makes contact with the main Ala Mhigo resistance force. Together, they successfully carry out a joint ambush, causing Garlemald to lose a new series of Magitech automatons. Zenos uses Fordola Remlupus's plan to bypass the barriers of Ralgar's reach and attack the resistance camp. Zenos oversees the attack and defeats the Scions and Warrior of Light with ease. Unable to face Zenos' forces head-on, the Scions travel to Doma to incite rebellion on two fronts, thereby dividing Zenos' attention. They convince the Confederacy to drive the Empire out of the Ruby Sea by breaking the Garleans' contract with the Red Kojin mercenaries. Upon hearing this, Zenos travels to Doma and has a chance run-in with the Warrior of Light. He defeats them, but is intrigued during their battle. He spares them, telling them to get stronger. The Liberation Army advances on Doma Castle with the newly re-emerged Prince Hien at the helm. The castle collapses during the battle, and Yatsuyu falls to the river below. With the acting viceroy presumed dead, Hien reclaims his kingdom and pledges to support the Ala Mhigo resistance. As news of Doma's freedom spread, rebellions flared in Garlean-held territories, stretching the Empire's forces thin. The Eorzean Alliance and Ala Mhigo resistance take this opportunity to push into the locks. The Scions conduct a stealth mission into a Garlean research facility to free Kryl, who had been captured and experimented on. Aulus Mal Asina had succeeded in replicating Kryl's echo and imbued Fordola with it, making her a resonant. The Warrior of Light is able to subdue her, and with Kryl freed, the resistance head towards the Ala Mhigo capital. The Warrior of Light confronts Zenos, who uses the power of his resonance to merge with and take over the primal Shinryu. After the thrill of finally being defeated in battle, Zenos takes his own life. Garlemald has now lost 2 of their territories. Varis sends a group from the Popularis faction, led by Asahi Sas Brutus, to broker peace with the newly independent Doma. The Popularis are a reformist party in Garlemald that want to end expansionism. Elidibus, using Zenos' body, commands Asahi to sabotage peace negotiations in an attempt to discredit the Popularis and further the goals of the Optimates, a pro-war faction. After Asahi's defeat at the hands of the primal Skiomi, his second-in-command, Maxima Quo Priscus, promises to bring Doma's peace treaty back to Garlemald with him. However, after being nearly assassinated by the Emperor's personal guard, Maxima and his group sought asylum in Ala Mhigo. Garlemald mobilizes to retake Ala Mhigo. Varis Zos Galvus agrees to meet the Eorzean Alliance in a parley on the front lines, during which Varis reveals the truth of Garlemald's origins and the nature of the rejoinings, in an attempt to recruit the Alliance leaders to his side. He claimed that only as one perfect race would they be capable of destroying the Asians. The Alliance leaders balked at this notion, and, deciding the negotiations were a lost cause, Varis departs to ready his army. Varis, unfortunately, is forced to return to Garlemald due to rumors circulating that Zenos is possessed. This causes discontent in the imperial court, and the possibility of a second war of succession. Elidibus is left to battle on the front lines as Zenos. He is unable to defeat the Warrior of Light and retreats, with the Garlean forces following him. Varis vows to do whatever is necessary for Garlemald to win. He greenlights the mass production of Black Rose, an alchemical weapon that kills any who inhale it by halting their flow of aether. While Varis and Elidibus discuss how to take advantage of the Warrior of Light and Scions no longer being on the source, a Garlean soldier enters the throne room. Zenos had cheated death by means of the resonance and wants his true body back. Elidibus is unable to subdue him and relinquishes control of Zenos' body. Injured in the struggle, Varis chides his son, saying he is not fit to rule. Zenos reveals to his father that he has no intention of ruling Garlemald, and that his return was only to ensure Varis would not release Black Rose and interfere with his hunt for the Warrior of Light. Varis can only look on, horrified, as Zenos murders him. Zenos takes his leave. Varis' worst fears come to fruition. With his death and no one to assume the throne, the Empire begins to tear itself apart. Imperial legions begin acting on their own ambitions, with Garlemald in the throes of civil war. After leaving the palace, Zenos is visited by the Ascian Fandaniel, who proposes an ideal prey for Zenos, Zodiarch. Zenos kills his way back into the Imperial Palace, taking out most of the contenders for the throne. Fandaniel places Garlean citizens under his control to remodel the palace. He also builds towers across Eorzea to set the stage for the final days, and the final confrontation between Zenos and the Warrior of Light. So, what can we expect in Garlemald once we arrive in Endwalker? Well, we can see from just the trailers just how decimated Garlemald looks due to civil war and Ascian shenanigans. While stopping the final days is our top priority, I wouldn't be surprised if the Popularis try to recruit the Warrior of Light and the Scions to help them gain power and save Garlemald. A peaceful Garlemald would be a nice addition to saving the world. I can also see our Garlean allies playing a role, like Maxima, Cid, Lucia, and Gaius. Maybe even Nero will grace us with his presence once more. What do you think will happen to Garlemald moving forward? Is there something not in this video that you'd like to see me cover in the future? Let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. I also stream on Twitch, link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, adventurers, remember, you matter, and may you ever walk in the light of the crystal.